Hi guys, Madness here. I just finished reading The Mark of Athena by Rick Riordan, the third edition in the Heroes of Olympus series, which is the second in series, like the one that came after the Percy Jackson and the Olympians series, which is what this video is going to be on. Percy Jackson and the Olympians. Yeah. Alright, it's going to be a complete improv video, so it's going to be really, really crappy. It's like a vlog. Spoilers! Of course. Alright, let's start off with Percy Jackson, the Olympians, the Lightning Thief. I remember when I first found Percy Jackson, and I remember walking into my school's library in 5th grade and looking around because I wasn't that big of a reader back then. It was like, okay, let me read this. Yeah, done. Do I have a grade? And, besides Harry Potter, I wouldn't really read that much. And then, well, I walked in the library and I saw the stack that said new books. And I found that they had just gotten the Lightning Thief in. So I went and I picked it up and I looked over the back and I thought, you know what, this is pretty good. And so I brought it home and I finished it in about a day. I couldn't put that book down. I even brought it to the breakfast table the next morning. I was like, what? Sure, Mom, toast sounds good. And it was probably not that good, but you know, my mom was excited to see me reading that stuff. And, well, I remember loving the plot so much that when I walked down the halls and my school kind of had this giant crossroad thing, I remember, like, when I came in late, I would kind of check down the hallways to make sure, okay, good, no monsters, let's go. And, I always got kind of freaked out when a lightning storm would come because I was a kid, and I thought, oh my god, it's real. And that actually got me really invested in the book. It was like it was so realistically written, but it was a fantasy book about kids fighting monsters. How do you do that? I don't know, but Riordan did, and it was brilliant. And I remember kind of feeling like, oh man, I need some friends. A book. Alright, and that's how I got into Lightning Thief. Now, the Sea of Monsters was a completely different story. Because I was already into it, and I was like, okay, where's the next one? I need more. I was like a drug addict with this thing. I needed more books. So I looked forward to when my library would get it again. And when I found the Sea of Monsters, I couldn't put it down either. I love this book. Of course, it had been a couple months and I matured a little bit, so I could, you know, form proper sentences without mentioning it most of the time. And I remember hearing all the talk about over my school, like everybody was talking about it because my school in New York, I'm not giving the name, it was populated by nerds. No one at that school, they were all kind of weird, so that wasn't alone in my obsession. That was a good thing. I remember everybody talking about it just before I got the book, and I was like, oh, Annabeth's in this book a lot more, and they go on the adventure, just the two of them, and I was like, sweet, because I loved Annabeth. I thought she was so cool. I thought, you know, okay, I want to be that. Okay, I'm down here and Annabeth's up here, and I'm gonna meet that in the middle. I'm gonna get smarter. I got kind of smart. And the funny part is I kind of developed this phobia of big spiders coming at me because of this book. Okay. And then, and I remember, hearing about, and I remember reading the book, the scene in the book where Annabeth was tied to the mast and was like crying and wanting to get free to go to the sirens. And I was thinking like, don't do it, don't do it, whatever you do, don't do it, Percy, come on, be strong. And I was like, oh, thank God, she's okay. She's just at the bottom of the ocean with Percy. Okay. I was in 5th grade. I didn't really know that much about relationships. But even I, the dunce that I was, could see a chemistry forming between those two. And I ended up rooting for them. Like, come on. Come on. Are you really that stupid? Come on. Oh god. I love the Sea of Monsters. It's actually my second favorite in the book. Series. And then the Titans Curse came out and I was full of feels by that book because I had grown attached to these characters by the 3rd book. And then you know, Bianca and Nico D'Angelo came onto the scene. And I really liked Bianca. I loved that chick. She was like the perfect big sister. Sorry, Bella. I wish I could be more for you. And I remember thinking like, you know what? They need that chick. She will totally tie the team together. And then she got crushed. I was so full of fangirl feels because after that happened, I saw Nico D'Angelo and I wanted to hug him because of that. I wanted to hug Nico D'Angelo so bad. He was like the little kid in the corner that I always had to stick up for. Oh, and then the Battle of the Labyrinth rolled around, and and I was like, oh god, Nico, don't do anything too stupid. Don't do anything too stupid. He did something stupid, of course. He was a kid. I was kind of... Is it weird to feel protective over a fictional character? Because I've done it quite a few times. I don't get crushes on fictional characters that often, but I end up feeling really protective of the little kids in books. And Nico D'Angelo was kind of like, okay, nobody mess with him, or I'll punch you. You know? I felt that way, the same way with Harry Potter in the first couple of books. I was like, back off, man. Back off. And then that scene at Mount St. Helens. That's when I discovered what a shipper was. I will never be the same. And then I love the whole little scene with Calypso on the island because, you know, I felt like, you know what? That's just awesome. That's something I've always admired about Rick Riordan. Just the little stories that were so awesome that he worked in with the mythology. It was brilliant. I loved that. I love Greek mythology. I actually loved it because of this book series. And I ended up learning more about it. Now, you could ask my sister. I know almost everything about the different Greek deities. Ain't that right, Bella? Yeah. She said, yeah. And then the last Olympian came. And, well, this big earthquake happened. I'm pretty sure it was on the news. It was the sound of my fangirly heart shattering. Okay. I know everybody was really, like, choked up because of all the battles and the deaths, and I remember my friends asking me, who are you saddest about? Oh, I cried at Luke, right? There's the thing. I couldn't really make myself like Luke for a very long time, and then until we met May, then I really felt sorry for the kid. I actually kind of saw him like Percy saw him, a friend who betrayed you and was evil now, and I didn't want to like Luke after But when he did die, I was like, well, I saw it coming, obviously. I mean, he was facing up, and Kronos, no matter what you're not gonna let the Titan live. I knew Luke was doomed for a really long time. I saw it coming, like, yeah, battle, Sea of Monsters. That's when I kind of knew, yeah, he's gonna die. He's gonna die. And, but the one I felt worse, the character death I felt worse for, was probably Charlie. Beckeldorf. Is that how you say his name? I could never I never found out. I was really choked up about that. It was like he sacrificed himself to blow up a ship, and it ended up not even mattering. That was like a punch in the stomach. It was like I was given this awesome superhero to look up to, and I was like, nice job, man. We look up to you. And then I was like, oh, never mind, it didn't matter. It doesn't change anything. And then it led to Selena, and that led to Clarice being a good person, which ultimately led to the saving everyone's asses. And it was beetles everywhere. And then Percy turned down being a god for Annabeth, and and then the underwater kiss thing was just so cute, because I was, oh god, that was actually kind of I was like 12 and I loved that. I don't know what else the older teens reading it thought. And then, I was still around 5th, 6th grade, 5th, when the movie came out. And I remember going to actually see it when I was still reading The Lightning Thief, and I was like, oh, okay, cool. And then I sat there and I was all comfy. I had my Milk Duds and my extra large Dr. Pepper, and I was like, okay, let's do this. It's gonna be awesome. I know they're a little older, but whatever, they're actors. Okay. You know what I mean? I mean, they got absolutely nothing right in the movie, and it was even down to the little things that irritated me. Okay, I don't hold anything against the actors. I mean, they're the actors. It's not like they put as much into it as they possibly could. It's the writers and the director that they're on my list of don't like you list. It was just the little things, like Persephone being in the movie at all, down to how Poseidon didn't wear a fishing hat, how Luke showed up and was like tossed into the water, and then nah. As a movie, it was pretty good. As an adaptation from a book, I did not like it at all. Still awesome though. It was nice seeing them like some effort put into it. And that actually kind of sums up my story. And I have been an obsessive fangirl ever since. That is my story of my relationship with the Percy Jackson, the Olympians series. I'll have to do the Heroes of Olympus next time. Bye.